Awesome. Hi, guys. Happy end of August. Happy top of September. Um, I'm excited. This is my favorite thing we do every single month. It is literally my favorite thing to sit back, look at the previous month, look at what has progressed, what's working, what's not working, but also then make a game plan for the next month. This is how I also do less better, right? We're getting into the topic in September. Welcome to all our new sisters joining us for the fall season. We're getting into the topic of back to the basics. And when we talk about the basics, it really is stripping things away. Oftentimes, the basic things go on the back burner because our lives get too full. They get too chaotic. They get like we become overwhelmed, right? And overcommitted. And so when we go back to the basics, we're truly looking at what matters most, right? What gets our yes, and then putting parameters and boundaries around those very important things so that everything else fits around that, right? It's like the whole idea of, um, there's that idea of like taking a jar and you can put all the sand, all the little tiny things, all the things that people ask of you, right? And you put all that sand in the jar. And then your things that are really important, the things you value, maybe it's your health, maybe it's time with your family, maybe it's meal planning, right? Those things that you care about, they just don't fit because you said yes to all the little tiny things, right? But if we could take the main things and keep them the main things, put them in the jar first, which is what we're going to do today, then we can start sprinkling everything else into that, right? And so this is where I take ownership of my calendar. This is where I say, okay, the sisterhood's a priority for me. So that's going in my calendar as one of the main things so that anything that sprinkles around has to fit around that, right? That's where I say winning my mornings is important to me. So that's the main thing. So that goes in my calendar, right? And so this is where we get very clear on what matters most to us. Now, we talk about the Create What You Crave framework. We are in the monthly game plan right now for our goals. But the fun part is, in 1 month, we're already going to be back to quarterly check ins and we're going to be in the final quarter of the year. So, today, when you're making your monthly game plan, I want you to really look at what did you say you wanted to do in Q3. Okay. If you were with us in Q3 and you did this with us in Q3, what did you say you wanted? And if not, what do you want to do before Q3 is over? Because we have 1 month left of Q3. So this is a great time to go back to your Q3 goals and really look at, what's working, what's not, are they still in alignment, things like that, and make sure that they fit into this monthly game plan. Because after this month, we're going to be checking in and seeing if we move the needle forward on what we wanted to do in this last quarter. Okay. So we're going to kick off with reflection. That's what I always do. Oh, shucks. I left my Win the Morning journal in the garage with all my other stuff. I'm gonna go grab it. But in the Win the Morning journal this year, in the updated version, which all the people who are coming to the Sisterhood retreat are getting their hands on it first, but you can also, spoiler, get your hands on it already on Amazon. If you go to Amazon and you get the Win the Morning journal, you're gonna see these updates already in there when it arrives at your doorstep. But I've put 6 months worth of reflection and intention setting at the top of the journal now. So you have 6 opportunities to work on this, okay? But if you don't have the Win the Morning journal, you don't have the updated one, this is something you can just do in a journal right now, okay? Um, I want you to look at each category, okay? We've got movement, we've got rest, we've got our nutrition, we've got our mental health, we've got our home and our environment, we've got our professional life, we've got our fun and our hobbies, spirituality and faith, finances and giving, and relationships and family, okay? I want you to go ahead and rate each category. How do you feel overall about it? One is like major changes are needing to happen ASAP, and 10 is you're very happy with things, how things are going, okay? And then I want you to take a second and journal some of the wins you're celebrating from last month, okay? You can kind of like divide it between wins and lessons, okay? So what was a win in the month, right? Nothing is too small. Nothing is too small. So go back through your month. What are you proud of and what can you celebrate for yourself? And then on the other side, what are some challenges you had this last month? And maybe what are some lessons you can pull from that as we head into a fresh month? Okay. I'm going to put on some vibey music. I'm going to go grab my journal so that I could do this real time in my journal. And let's take like, I don't know, 5-ish minutes and check in on the last month.
Moving forward, my chunks out of me. You're a shark and I'm swimming. Heart still thumps as I bleed. Know your friends come sniffing. Triangles are my favorite shape. 3 points where 2 lines meet. Toe to toe, back to back, let's go. My love is very late. Till morning comes, let's desolate. Oh, love my power and keep my whole love you. Wild green stones along my love and keep us on my heart. Three guns and one goes off. One's empty, one's not quick enough. One burn, one red, one grin. Search the graves while the camera spins. Chunks of you will sink down to seals. Apparition warning. The nosh you of here, nosh the love away, but it's fair to say you will still haunt me. Triangles are my favorite shape. 3 points where 2 lines meet. Toe to toe, back to back, let's go. My love, it's too late. Till morning comes.
Okay, let's go on to the next part, which is still reflection, you guys. But this is where we're going to take a moment now and reflect on the goals from the previous month. Okay. Sometimes, you guys, the goal isn't the problem, right? It's that we simply got off track. So, this is an opportunity to, take this opportunity as data, right? Like everything's data. This is like a non judgmental approach to looking at your goals. And so you can just get curious, right? Okay, what was the goal that I set last month? And did I make progress? Why or why not, right? Zero judgment. Get curious about it. But sometimes, this is why we get curious. Sometimes the goal isn't the problem, but sometimes the goal is the problem, right? It's not actually in alignment with where we're going, or it was a goal we set, like, because we were maybe in a low mood or a low headspace and we got like into comparison mode or whatever, right? This is why we check in, because the goal could be the problem, right? And we need to shift, or maybe the goal is not the problem and we just need to shift what we're doing, right? And maybe we're making absolute amazing progress and we can pat ourselves on the freaking back. So we're going to take just 5 more minutes or so, look back at September, look back at the previous months. What have your goals been? And talk to yourself about the progress you are making.
Hold my hand, float back to the summertime. Tangled in the willows, now our tongues are tied. How can I believe you? How can I be nice? Tripping around the tree stumps in your summer smile.
All right, let's keep moving and grooving. So that one is pretty easy. I just honestly, I look back at exactly what I wrote in my journal the previous month, and I split it up typically into three personal goals and three professional goals. Okay, that I'm able to continue working on. Sometimes they're continuations of a previous goal that I set if it's a bigger goal, and sometimes if it's like very focused, laser focused for that month, then it's that specific goal. For example, this month, one of my professional goals was finish prepping for fall. And so that was very specific for the month, right? Okay, let's move on to setting intentions for the next month. So now that we've taken an honest, like I said, non judgmental inventory of what's been getting our focus and our attention, and maybe what might need adjusting. Now we can set some intentions for the fresh month. So, as we head into a fresh month, there are some things, okay? And this, like I said, it's all in the Win the Morning journal in the updated version at the very top. As we head into a fresh month, is there anything you want to lay down that no longer aligns with your vision? Okay. It could be a goal, it could be a limiting belief that's been circulating in your mind, it could be a relationship that maybe you just need some distance or space in. Maybe it's a habit that needs to be laid down that's not serving you, or a behavior or a routine that is no longer serving you. I want you to really reflect on what is no longer working, what no longer aligns that maybe needs to be laid down. Okay. Um, then next we're gonna write out some goals. Like I said, I like to do, 3 professional, 3 personal, but you do what feels right for you. And I also, like I said, they can be big, audacious goals that you're moving the needle towards. Remember, go look back at Q3. What did you say? And they could also be just healthy habits. For example, in August, it was alcohol free for me, right? Or they can just be anything else that's mattering in your life, especially looking back at the ratings. Remember when we started and kicked off with rating each area on a scale from 1 to 10? This might be a time to take the area that is maybe your lowest and see, does that need to be lifted, and what kind of goals could you set to elevate that area, right? I also want you to check in, take a second and reflect, what would progress on those goals look and feel like this month? Because we're not always, the intention isn't always to be perfect, right? Consistency doesn't equal perfection, and progress doesn't equal perfection either. And so a lot of times, we hold ourselves to such high standards that when we fall off the wagon once, or we don't hold up to this, idea of perfection, we feel like we should just throw in the towel. So I also want you to know what progress would look like, right? Because you working towards that thing matters more than you just giving up, right? Uh, this is also where I look at what might get in the best way of my in the way of my best efforts. This is one of my very favorite things to do because this is where I look ahead. In August we had traveling, we had road trip happening. So I was able to look ahead. Okay, when I get to Indianapolis, we can walk our dogs and go to Whole Foods, and we can get some healthy meals to put into the hotel room. We can get water to have on hand in the hotel room, right? I can look at what might get in the way of my best effort, and I can find something that's going to help me so that I don't you know, hijack my goals because life's, right? Um, so this is where you get your calendar out a little bit, and you're going to look at what's happening in your life, right? Back to school might be one of those things for you if the kiddos are going back to school, or maybe you do have traveling coming up, or whatever that looks like. I want you to just see what would get in the way and how can you proactively plan ahead for that. And then last thing is, I want you to look at what's an affirmation, a reminder, or maybe a mental tattoo you can use this month to guide you. These are not simply woo woo words that you chant to yourself until you think you believe it. If you don't believe the words you're saying, it's not going to resonate. It's not going to be helpful. So when I talk about affirmations, I really like to think of mental tattoos. For example, telling myself that I'm wildly capable, right? That helps me because I know deep down in my core, my best of best self, that I'm capable, right? I've proven that to myself over and over again. And so when I say I'm wildly capable and I can tell myself that, I believe it because I have proof positive of it, right? But maybe you need something, maybe the tattoo is just that I'm doing the best I can in this season, right? And so make sure that your affirmation is something that you will actually believe when you look at it and you repeat it to yourself, right? Or maybe it's just a friendly reminder, okay? So we're going to start with this, and then we will get into the last section, which is my favorite section, which we will round out the day with. And that is going to be making an actual game plan for all this. So let's wrap up this first part with setting our intentions for September.
शायद ये तुमको पता है.
All right. And the last part, which is what we're going to spend the majority of the rest of the time, is making a game plan. Okay. So the reflection, the intention setting, it's great. That I love it. We have to do that. I am a firm believer, if you spend enough time with me, I'm a firm believer that you have to have the reflection and the intention setting first, because if you don't know where you're going or where you've been, it's hard to make a game plan, right? But the best month that you have, or the rest of 2024, or whatever, it's on the other side of your daily choices. Okay. It's on the other side of your calendar. It's what you do with the hours that you have in front of you. Right. And so this is where we make that focused game plan that supports the intentions that we have. So I want you to look at, this is where I get I'm a paper planner girly. I get that out. I also get my dry erase board set up for September. I make sure that I plug in anything on the calendar that is going to happen, with my husband's schedule. What does he have going on? We take a second, we get our planners out as a family and we do that. I look at everything with the membership that's happening. I look at memberships that I'm a part of and I make sure that I pencil in what's going on in those spaces so that I can get out of it what I want to get out of it, right? I also put in there anything that's happening, like birthdays or any events that are going down this month, any commitments that I have, right? Um, so starting with the planner is everything, okay? And like I said, consider after you're done with this, having a family meeting and planning that out too, if you don't already do this, okay? I'm going to wipe down my dry erase boards. I'm going to get them ready for September. I'm going to assign my monthly goals, you guys, to certain weeks. So I'm going to look at, for example, um, I am updating and refreshing my website. That's a big focus in September. And so each month I can break it down by a page, right? Like, so let me start with the home page of my website. Then let me go to my About Me page, right? And so each week I can break that down so that by the end of September, I have updated my entire page, okay? And then prep your workout calendars. This is also where I print out a new workout calendar. You guys, I've given you Canva links to that. If you need access to it, just reach out to me and I will make sure that you get access to the Canva link. But prep your workout calendar, right? Any other important calendars that matter to you. But for me, my workout calendar is a big one. At the top of every month, I print out a new one. That way I can put it in like a little frame inside my workout area and I can just dry erase, check off the workouts as I go through. Because when you track something, right, you're more likely to stick to it and to commit to it because it's right there in front of your face. Okay, so we're gonna spend the last approximate half hour just doing the dang thing, putting pencil to paper, dry erase marker to board, and just getting our goals and our intentions actually in writing in our game plan. Okay.
I've ever heard. Call early in the morning when I got the word. Now she say that it's his son, he say not at all. Please miss me with the excuses, I am not involved, no, not at all. Oh man, you know my heart can't take anymore. Damn, said this before, said this before. Do you remember, do you remember you? You remember, you remember you. Do you remember who you were to me? 'Cause I do. Tell all the homies that you're the one to blame. And when you speak my name, I'd like you to explain the lies you told me. That's why I walked away. I never did complain. You never heard me say you's a sucker ass, bust a ass if they ask. Tell them that I ain't mad. I'm just sad it never worked out. Now you coming back, second chance, fuck all that. You give her what we had, yeah, and still there's no love lost here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know my heart can't take anymore. Yeah. Said this before. Yeah. Do you remember? Do you remember you? Do you remember? You remember who you were? Do you remember who you were? Do you remember? You remember you? Do you remember? You remember who you were to me? 'Cause I do. I do. Do you remember? Do you remember you? Do you remember? You remember who you were to me? 'Cause I do. nobody around, all held up by the snow. And I can hear the sound of another Christmas song. And it feels like a Sunday. It feels like a Sunday. Watch how the sun increases.
All right, and an hour later, y'all, that is it. That is what we do. I am actually working. I realized that we need new Canva links for fall calendars. So I'm working on that right now, getting that all set up, but I feel very good. I feel very good. My dry erase board set up, my journal is set up, my goals are set. I've got my planner in motion, and then I'm working on my workout calendar next. That is still not finished, but I would say a productive hour. So thank you guys for joining me, whether you got on live or you're catching the replay of this. And I'm really excited to dive into all things back to the basics this season in the sisterhood. But remember that going back to the basics really looks a lot like stripping away all the extra things. Remember that analogy of like the sand in the jar first? Instead of that, why don't we put the things that matter most in the jar first and then allow other things to fill up the space? And remember that margin and white space in your calendar and in your life is not just okay, it's actually essential. So I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of your August, and I will see you guys when I see you guys later. Have a great day.